Talk a little bit more about the genetic portion of things. Does that mean that, oh, there's nothing I can do about it? Came from mom and dad, so
Yeah,
this is how I am.
it's not my fault.
Yeah.
So you know what the best part about this is? If that was the point, there'd be no reason to test genetics. You'd want to keep it a deep, dark secret. Because what would be the point? You can't fix it. But genes load the gun. I love that saying, environment fires it, pulls the trigger. And just because you have the genetic propensity towards obesity or a sweet tooth does not mean that you then have to let that be your destiny. When you know that you have a genetic propensity towards a larger appetite or decreased satiety, there are specific steps that you can do to fix that. We do know people with SNPs on the FDO gene tend to be 7 pounds heavier than the other persons, the average persons that don't have it. But if they exercise, it levels the playing field. So the cool thing about genes, and this is, every day I've been reading the latest studies on genetics, again, with everything from taste to appetite to snacking behavior to exercise, why some people, you can take 400 people and have them exercise. Some people have great response, some people have no response. What's up with that? It turns out that from your genes, you may respond better to aerobic style exercise, you might respond better to resistance exercise. You may not really respond much to either one of them. Doesn't let you off the hook with exercise, but someone who really needs a lot of exercise for weight loss, I'm going to push them more. Someone who it's not going to really impact them, I'm going to have them do the minimum, right? So that they'll have it for health, they'll have it for longevity, they'll have it for stress reduction, but they won't have, crazy, unrealistic expectations from exercise. There's some people that if they don't do a lot of exercise, it's never going to work for them. So it allows you to really pinpoint the exact right type of diet, exact right type of exercise, and what eating behavior traits are going to take that person down. Because for weight loss, when you look at it, so much of the things we always thought were willpower, like someone who's got a sweet tooth. I'm adopted. My adopted mom has a crazy sweet tooth. Just ridiculous. Has stuff stashed all over the house. She's got ice cream and candy. I don't have a sweet tooth. So she's always like, have dessert. I'm like, I don't want dessert. I don't like dessert, I'd rather have a piece of sourdough bread. That's more my dessert. And the cool thing, too, is the diet part of it. Stanford did a study last year where they found that when people followed a diet based on their genotype, which is based on a variety of genetic variations, they lost 2.5 times the weight and twofold in their waist circumference than those who didn't. So you can see that would make a big difference. Who wants to sit there and go on the wrong diet? I think it's something you should be born, find out your diet genotype, and that's just how you live. Because it's not just maximizing weight loss, it's maximizing optimal gene expression, reducing inflammation, extending the life, your longevity, all of that.
How do we find out? What sort of things do we have to do to find out if that's the instance for us?
I know someone said, well, isn't there a quiz? I go, there's not a quiz. Gee, I wish that was going to be the case. We get to do a quiz to figure out your 140. Right now we're looking at 140 different genes. I'm sure next year we'll go, we were only looking at 140 genes. Right now it's a simple little spit test that can tell you the right type of diet for you. It tells you how well you respond to MUFAs and PUFAs, the monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats. Some people, if they eat more monounsaturated fats, they lose more weight. Some people, it doesn't make any difference whatsoever. It can tell you, again, if you have decreased satiety, increased appetite, a sweet tooth. If you're a super taster, a bitter taster, on my show, on my TLC Freaky Eater show, we get a lot of the super tasters that don't like anything and they get stuck on a mono food group, right? And again, it will tell you your exercise, and that's such a cool thing. So it really, we keep talking about personalizing health, and yet everybody goes on this same diet. That's not personalization, right? So it really allows you to perfectly customize your health and then optimize gene expression. Then you see what you have to fix in terms of how much someone's damaged their metabolism, right? Because weight loss is going to be both what's going on with your genetics, what's going on with your epigenetics, what did your mom do that she passed on to you, which genes did she flip on, which epigenetics are flipped on, so when it comes to you, you've got a problem, like maybe she's created a poor methylation scenario and now you've got that, and that can actually impact your ability to lose weight. It's pretty interesting, besides all the other problems poor methylation causes in terms of detox and heart health. But then you have to look at all those areas of weight loss resistance too. So it all factors in, which is why we've got such a massive obesity epidemic, because people, again, are going to the simple little model and ignoring all of this. And when it doesn't work, people think this is just normal for me. I'm supposed to be overweight. I'm supposed to be obese. And they give up. They have no hope.